Listen, you do not need $1 million idea at a warehouse full of inventory or 50 employees to start a business. You don't. And you want to know why? It's because you already have everything you need to start making money. And that is your expertise. Think about it. People are already asking you for help. They're asking for your advice. They're asking for your guidance for that thing that you are naturally good at. And here's the secret that nobody is telling you, or you're not hearing it enough. What you know can grow your bank account. It's the truth. Welcome back, family. We are in week 2 of our Foundation and Connection series. Last week, we talked about the mindset and rewiring your identity as a CEO. Now, we discussed that everything starts in your mind, and the words that you speak create the world around you. So now let's jump into putting that CEO identity into action and talk about how to turn your expertise, your skills, your gifts, and your experiences into a real business model. So I want you to recognize your expertise. I know a lot of people find this part to be so daunting, like such a hurdle that they have to jump because they don't know what they're expert at. They don't know. I can't imagine that you can't figure what you're an expert at. You know why? Because we're thinking too hard about it. Again, go back to the thing that people always are asking you for help with. Go back to that. Or if you have been working for years and you are in a particular field for years, you have certainly gained and acquired a plethora of knowledge and skills in that particular industry, if not that particular department of work. So you can utilize that same knowledge bank that you have built for so long, for years, for decades, and turn that into a business because that essentially is your expertise. So, for example, if you are the friend that people always come to help them write their resume, you can turn that into a business. Okay. What you now have is a coaching service because now you can coach people on how to more or less perfect their resume for proper hire, how to optimize their resume, how to utilize keywords, how to present yourself in a way that would be attractive and engaging for an employer to see and call you for that interview. You can train someone, you can coach someone on how to create an impactful and an effective resume. That's a business, especially if you have great results. If the people that are coming to you are saying, what you did to this resume helped me land that interview. So what you will do essentially with your expertise is that you are going to share it. You're going to share it. That's how you're able to turn that into a business. Now, I want you to get out of your mind that the expertise is what you have a degree in. That is not always the case. As an expert, you are problem solving. You are overcoming challenges, and the skills that you repeat become that which you can call an expertise. Okay, so the problems you've solved, the challenges that you've overcome, and the skills that you repeat create your expertise. Now, I want you to think, what's one thing that people always come to you for advice or help with? Drop that in the chat. I know I have some Zoom people listening, or if you're on Facebook and social media, drop it in the comments below. What is that number one thing people always come to you for? They ask you for advice. They ask you for help. Now, I want you to consider that to be what you are actually an expert in, or what other people actually see you as an expert in. And if they're seeing you as an expert in that field, or that industry, or that particular solution, then you see that you have a market that's looking for your work. Okay? Now, I want to jump into what your expertise can actually translate into as it relates to business. This would be a service-based business where you are providing a service to the marketplace in when, and in turn you get profit or you get compensation for. And there are 4 service-based business models I want you to consider, and I'll break it down. So the number 1 is consulting, where you are analyzing and advising. Essentially, you are the problem solver. So there's a problem that exists. You have then filled in the gap with a solution, and then you are consulting and sharing that knowledge, and based on the analysis of the problem, you're sharing how your solution will be an effective solution. So consider an HR professional. If you've been in the HR business, or you have a degree, or again, just expertise in HR professionalism, you can teach a small business owner on how to hire. That is the number 1, number 2 hurdle that small businesses have is hiring good people to carry out the mission, to carry out the vision, and to represent their company. So as an HR professional, you can teach a small business or an entrepreneur how to hire effectively, because that is a skill that not everyone has. The second business model to consider as it relates to service-based businesses is coaching. Consider you as a coach who guides, motivates, and may be an accountability partner. So a coach will guide you through the process, guide you to the outcome that you desire, and motivate you along the way. They will also be an accountability partner. You discuss and tell them the goals that you have, the desire that you have for your company, for whatever it is, for yourself, and they will coach you along the way and be that accountability partner, keeping you accountable for the goals that you have and the milestones that you would like to acquire along the way. So an example of this would be if you are a fitness enthusiast, if you love fitness, whether it be wellness, whether it be physical or a fitness trainer. If you're a fitness enthusiast, you can essentially coach moms. If there is like a brand new mom who just has had a baby and trying to get back into the swing of things, she may need someone to coach her back into wellness, whether it be nutrition, whether it be her physical body, whether it be her mind, and just the balancing of being a new mom or being a mom and balancing her family, balancing her well-being. She may need a coach. So you can turn that, if you have a passion for new moms or you have a passion for fitness and wellness, you can turn that expertise, that passion, into a lucrative business. Number 3 would be freelancing. Now here is where you, as the freelancer, you're doing the work. Okay? You're doing the work and you're providing the skill that the small business or the entrepreneur or the corporation and or government actually needs, because you know how to do the skill. So an example of this would be a graphic designer. So if you enjoy creating, optimizing logos, beautiful logos or websites, you can do that for a small business. And you'll be considered a freelancer in that you're providing that service and that skill for that particular entity. The 4th service-based business to consider, or business model to consider, will be training and workshops. So this is where you actually teach groups. You have the knowledge and you're sharing the knowledge, and then you're training them on how to utilize the knowledge that you've gathered. So if you are someone that's great at social media, okay, you can create a workshop for entrepreneurs who are looking to build, optimize, and maximize their social media as it relates to building their own business. If you're great in marketing or brand management or brand strategy, you can utilize the training workshop model and train entrepreneurs and small businesses on how to maximize and build up their marketing platform as well as their social media. That is a service-based business that I know is very, very lucrative, because branding is everything and social media is inevitable. You need it for, if you're in any type of business. So to be able to create trainings and workshops and share that knowledge with others and how to build their own business, that there is a very, very lucrative service-based model that you can take advantage of. Now, I want you to consider this as you are framing and deciding how to approach this, how to actually make money from this. I want you to remember, do not sell hours. You're not selling people the time it's going to take you to get any of this done, right? Or to be able to provide this service. You are selling the outcomes. People do not want to buy, and they're not going to buy your time. They want to buy transformation. They want to buy the outcome that they're going to receive when they employ you, when they contract you to be able to create the desire that they have. Okay? So what you must do, and then this section, we're going to talk about how you package that expertise. But consider, you're not selling your hours. You're not selling the time it's going to take to do any of these things. You're selling the outcome that they're going to receive if they in turn contract you as a service-based provider. Packaging your expertise. Now, step one, I want you to identify the pain point that you're going to solve. Okay? The pain point that you're going to solve. Essentially, and I don't even want you to label it as a pain point. It can be, but more in fact, what is the outcome that they're going to receive if they say yes to the service that you provide? What is the outcome? Because some people want to, they want to magnify the pain point, but others want to know what are you going to do for me? What's the outcome? Okay. And number two, you need to turn that outcome into a signature solution. You can't be like your next door neighbor or your next brand strategist or your next coach or your next fitness wellness provider. What is your signature spin, so to speak? What's your signature spin on the solution that you are bringing to me? What's the signature spin? Okay. And then you need to be clear on price. Okay. Do not be afraid to name the number. If you want to negotiate the price, that is your prerogative, but do not be afraid to name your price. Because if you're afraid to name your price, it looks or it appears that you're afraid to be able to provide the service and outcome and signature solution that you're promising. You have to be confident. Again, remember, everything starts in your mind. So you have to get your mind right as the CEO that you are providing this signature solution that is going to take them from where they are to where they desire to be. Put a clear price on it. So instead of saying $50 an hour for tutoring, package it as a 6 weeks confidence in math boot camp. A 6-week confidence in math boot camp for $500. Flat price, share it there. They don't care how much an hour. They can figure that part out if they really want to, but they don't really want to. They just want to know the price, the outcome that they're going to receive, and how much is it going to cost. 6 weeks, what you're going to get is the outcome is confidence in math through this boot camp for $500. Why? Because the transformation is what is selling. How can I be transformed? How can I become the person that I desire to be by using your service? Now, I want you to drop in the chat, drop in the comments. If you had to package your expertise today, what would you call your service? What would you call your service? Think about that. And how would you package it? Now, I want you to be bold, be confident. And again, remember, everything starts in the mind. I want you to write down 3 things that you are great at or people ask you for, because you can build your bank account with the things that you already know. You can build your bank account with the thing that you already do every day without any fail or without any qualms, because the next person may not want to do it. But because you do it every day, because you're so comfortable in doing it, and because people are asking you for it, you know that there's a market. You know that there's some type of market for what you can provide. So write down 3 things that you are great at or that people ask you for and choose one. Create a simple outline of how you could help just one person this month with that particular skill. Because all you need sometimes is one to gain the confidence that you need to do. You don't need a website. You do not need a fancy logo. Just you and your expertise and the courage to put it out there. And I'll help you package it together. I'll help you come up with, let me know in the comments. Let me know either in the comment section or in the chat if you are, or what that one thing is. What that one thing is that you would love to be able to package and share that skill with at least one person this month and put it out there. Don't worry about perfection. Just worry about doing it now, taking action today. Family, if this lit a fire in you, I want you inside of the Virtuous Woman Academy and the Vault. And most importantly, I want you to help me grow this Go In network, Generations of Impact Network. Because again, this is where you're going to get the tools, the templates, the community that actually help you monetize, build family, build entrepreneurship, and build wealth and scale your gifts that you already have. Okay, Go In is the umbrella where we are building entrepreneurs, empowering entrepreneurs, leaders, and legacy makers. Not just our virtuous women, but we will have different pillars where we are helping the whole family, helping the whole entrepreneur, even our youth. So stay tuned to what we have in store. And remember, you're not just starting a business, you are building a movement. You are building a movement. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you next week.